Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Bitcoin Liz, and as you can see, today I have a very special guest with me. Once again, it's Ivan on Tech. It's amazing to have him back. He has been away for 1 week, and now we are going to summarize the crazy week that has passed. We have so many topics that we need to discuss. We have seen a huge dump in the traditional equity markets, the biggest since 2008. So of course we need to discuss that, and of course we have seen the same things happening in the crypto market. So we're going to discuss that. And also we need to take a look back what has happened. I mean, basically what is on everyone's mind now is bear market back. Just a couple of weeks back, we were all ready for bull market. We were there mentally. We did see so many significant things happening. We had estimates that were saying that we're going to see a rise in the Bitcoin price for 1,000 days in a row. And of course, also we had estimates that were saying that this was the best year for Bitcoin so far. And then this happened. The coronavirus, the international pandemic took off, and now we are seeing these crazy things going on in the market. So yeah. Ivan, if you're taking a look back at this week, what are you saying?
Yeah. Well, the most important thing to mention is the fact that Nasdaq, Dow Jones, all kinds of stock markets have gone down a lot, basically through the floor. And obviously, when investors don't really feel successful in those markets, they sell their positions in risky assets such as Bitcoin in order to cover the losses that they have accrued in the stock market. So now, if you look at Bitcoin, if you pull up the chart, you see the fact that we have closed and established ourselves below the 200 moving average right now. And really it's not that bullish event, because during the past bull market, once we had the golden cross that really marked the beginning of the past bull market, we never crossed below the 200 moving average. Now, personally for me, I'm still very bullish if we do not drop below 7.7. 7.7 is basically my level, and I talk about it more on my channel if you watch the latest video, because it has to do with Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves. But basically that is my level, and still I'm personally bullish, and for me the bull market is still here. But as you mentioned, we are living in a market which is bipolar, so people now have already switched into bearish mode. People are calling for 4K, 3K already, and hey, while it is a non-zero probability, for me it is still quite low probability. So that is Bitcoin and the stock market. And look, I think if the Nasdaq and the Dow and many other stock markets across the world would not have dropped, we would continue seeing Bitcoin rallying towards 10K and maybe even higher. Because look, we started the week here on the 23rd, very close to 10K. I mean, we basically started the week at 10K, which was quite bullish at that point, and people were really thinking that we're gonna continue and go higher. And then the stock market basically collapsed. You can say that it has collapsed. I mean, obviously it's early stages of a recession, and who knows whether the central banks will be able to stimulate the economies and really save us from this recession. But their magic and their toolbox is getting smaller. So this is what we're seeing right now in Sweden and many other countries. You have negative interest rates. You do have an environment which is highly stimulated, but you don't see any economic growth of any significant level. We do see stagnation. So that is what, by the way, leads us to this discussion about gold, why gold has gone up but also come down very quickly. So let us pull up the chart of gold just to show to you guys, and if you switch on the screen as well, we see the fact that it has rallied quite good in February, but then completely fell now in just a week basically.
Yeah, so as I discussed in my previous video, we did see the 7-year all-time high for gold, and now we do see this significant drop, and this is definitely something that I don't think most of the people were seeing or coming, because they were seeing gold as a safe haven to choose rather than having. So why do you think we do have this significant drop?
Because the people are a bit worried about deflation. So this is what I mentioned about the interest rates, that we have low interest rates across the world, but we don't see a lot of economic growth. So some people are a bit worried that we might see a deflationary crisis, which means that the prices go down, and including the price on gold. And look, deflationary crisis is not something that you hear a lot about. Mainly people speak about inflationary crisis like Zimbabwe, Venezuela, where the currency becomes worthless because the government prints too much. But then you have the other side of the coin, which is a deflationary crisis. And I haven't seen too many people speaking about it because in a deflationary crisis, prices go up. And this happens, for example, when you have old demographic. You have not many young people, you have only old people. And this means that simply you don't have demand going up enough, and demand is decreasing because simply you don't have a lot of young people consuming, and old people pass away. And it can happen. Look, it can happen in this next recession that we see deflation instead of inflation, and therefore gold bugs are not as sure right now what will happen, whether this will be inflationary or deflationary crisis. But also, to be fair, we went up so quickly in gold, so this correction is needed, and this is something that is not too unusual because it went up so quickly. But yeah, it is quite a steep correction in a very short period of time, indeed.
Yes, I agree with you, Ivan. And another thing that is deflationary is looking at the elderly people, which you spoke of. In Europe, at least, we do see an increase of old people. And what are they doing when we are approaching an economic crisis? Well, they are, of course, starting to sell off their assets that they have accumulated during the whole life. I mean, all their stocks, bonds, or other assets, because they want to have cash when they are retiring. So this is also something to have in mind, which is a deflationary factor. And the next topic that I want to discuss is the Bitcoin dominance. I will pull it up on the screen, and I would like to hear your comments on this. We do see... Yeah.
So it's back to 65% approximately, and we've seen kind of a small alt season just a few days ago, a week ago, and the Bitcoin dominance has been falling like crazy during the whole February, and here's where a lot of interest was for the altcoins. We had Hedera going through the roof, we had the Engine going through the roof. So many alts really rallied here just a few weeks ago, and now when times are uncertain, we do see Bitcoin dominance going up again. And nobody cares about alts yet again. So this is kind of the trend that we're always seeing. When people turn bullish, when this bipolar market that we are in right now turns bullish, people are interested in alts. People want to speculate in alts. When we are bearish, the only thing that people are doing is trading Bitcoin. And when we're bearish, the best altcoin now is just trading Bitcoin with a short position. And you can use leverage to make it even more volatile. So that is how people are playing this market, and it's never gonna change, guys. Because when we're bullish, people want to find new opportunities. Then Bitcoin is a bit too expensive. We do see newcomers into the market. And when we're bearish, we do have people who have been here for quite some time, because only these people are using this leverage platform, and where they can short and long like Bybit, and that's what they're doing right now when the Bitcoin dominance goes up and the whole market is a bit more bearish. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ivan. And just to conclude, if we take a look and zoom out, we started the year at 6,500 for Bitcoin, and currently we are, well, quite significantly above that. So the situation isn't as bad as people are picturing it currently. If you look at the big picture, we are still quite good off. Of course, these drops that we have seen in the latest days and last week, they can be scary, and especially when we see it in the traditional markets as well. And this is a point where currently, at least, Bitcoin is correlating with the traditional markets, and this probably only has to do with that the market sentiment for people is the same. When we are seeing crazy things like Corona happening, which is a global, which is causing a global crisis, people are starting to sell off because they kind of want to have some kind of stability for themselves. So that's what we wanted to speak of today. Do you have any final marks that you want to add, Ivan?
Yeah, guys, thank you for watching. Be sure to click the like if you liked it, and share the views with us in the comments. Do it right now, guys.
Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'm looking forward to hang out with you again very soon. Goodbye, guys.